Riot invited us to their European HQ in Berlin to get our hands on 2xKO and meet the developers. With a couple hours in my hands to learn more about the game and play against multiple opponents, I must say that I'm now super looking forward to what 2xKO has to offer. On this video, I sum up my findings on the game and my thoughts on where it is headed. And of course, let me know in comments your thoughts and any question you might have. I will do my best to answer them. Disclaimer though, I am absolutely not a League player. I don't know a thing about the characters, the champions, I know that's how they're supposed to be called. My only interest here is the following. Is it a good fighting game? So let's take a look. Let's very quickly go over the basics. 2xKO is a 2v2 game with a very cool assist system that can remind people of BB Tag or MVCI. The way assist works in this game is there are multiple assists per character. We can call the assists to let them perform their action, but while the characters are on screen, any press on the tag button will create a handshake tag and switch you to the other character. With this alone, you can already imagine the amount of cool stuff we could come up with. Sending an assist behind the opponent and swapping into it for mix, or maybe combos where you could literally play tennis with your opponents. The possibilities felt endless. In terms of feel, it's overall a fairly classic anime game system with light, medium, heavy that chain into each other like Marvel or Dragon Ball Fighter's Gatling system. There are two special buttons that are used for special moves, and there is a tag button. And the very first thing I can say is, I'm personally very old school when it comes to fighting games. When I see no motions input, the boomer in me gets grumpy. And 2xKO is a game with no motion inputs, simply one direction and a button. But playing 2xKO, it felt natural somehow. There's a lot to think about, and combos are actually genuinely challenging. As you can see here with me trying Yasuo loops for ages and dropping them a million times. Because a lot of the moves are chargeable, combos often require precise delays and charge timings. With the assist system also being quite open, it really felt like a free-flowing combo system. As for system mechanics overall, a Street Fighter-like throw is there. One of the cool things with the assist system is, if your assist is already out and you land the throw, you can handshake into the assist immediately and combo off the throw using the other character. Every character also has a universal anti-air, which is 3H or down forward heavy, that usually is a launcher leading to air combos. Air-to-air conversions also felt quite lenient, easier than in a game like Dragon Ball FighterZ for example. This makes the game overall quite dynamic to play. A plethora of defensive mechanics are also there. There is a universal backdash that can pretty much be used for free and gets your character to glow in blue a bit, but it loses to low attacks, so to use sparingly. There is a push block similar to Marvel vs. Capcom 3's advancing guards, and it's at the cost of 1 bar. It pretty much resets to neutral with what looks like no risk at all. Everyone also has a parry. The parry costs 1 bar, but if it lands, it immediately recovers that bar. We could see a lot of situations where parry led to a punish, the same way Street Fighter 6's perfect parry does. Every character has a wake-up reversal as well, invincible and unsafe on block. It looks like a blue burst of energy. And speaking of bursts, you get 1 burst per round as well, basically allowing you to avoid any kind of situation while blocking. Just like bursts in Guilty Gear and other games, the opponent can bait this burst and land a huge punish. The game also offers a system called Fuse, each giving you a different advantage. One fuse allows you to dash cancel a move and also gives you a bit more damage when you are under a certain threshold of life. The other gives you the possibility to handshake twice in the same combo. That means you could change into the assists and then change back into the first character in the same sequence. Another one allows you to use your assist move twice in a row as well. That's another great argument for how you can really theoretically choose how you want to play in this game. With a lot of defensive options, you could imagine the offense is also kinda crazy, right? Well, you definitely are right. Me being a fairly slow learner in fighting games, I decided to use only Yasuo and Ekko, mostly because Yasuo looks cool and I'm a weeb, and Ekko looks like an absolute mix machine. On Yasuo's side, he looks like a good, versatile character with great movements. He can power specials up with a wind mechanic by creating a wall of wind that will power up the next special that goes through it. For example, his special one goes pretty much full screen through the wind. He also has a stance offering him more moves, from a special dash that goes through the opponent to very long range moves that really remind me of Nagoriyuki's slashes. Yasuo is also full of sauce with rejump combos and loops that made him so fun to play. This loop, for example, is quite fun and satisfying to land and also super tricky. For a very quick explanation, the dive move is a charged air special to perform after a small delay after jumping. Charging it immediately makes it whiff, charging it too late makes it unable to continue the combo. When landing, you cancel the landing into the stance, and you then use the down medium move in stance after a delay as well to juggle perfectly. Then delay a second jump into another delay charge special, and repeat the loop one more time. The following part had a really tight timing as well, but you are supposed to then do the down H from stance, into a run, 3H, and then any kind of air combo to finish it all. And you know, I went for a super. Yasuo also has a follow-up super to his level 1, which is really cool. So you can imagine that combos can be quite tricky in this game. On Ekko's side, man, I can't wait to properly lab this character. He has very short reaching normals, he looks like he has a lower damage output than others, but has incredible movement. His main mechanic is the clone mechanic, where any special leaves the clone behind. Pressing the special again will teleport you into the clone, and depending on the direction you pressed, perform a follow-up to this teleport. So I had regular instances of dropping a clone somewhere, and then eventually using it for the biggest surprise mix to teleport behind my opponents. When charging a special move, the teleport will actually allow you to perform any follow-up. Any normal, any special, you basically go to the clone and do whatever you want. So being able to charge clones looks like one of the big keys to the character. For example, here mid-screen, I charge the clone in combo, then throw Ekko's equivalent to a fireball, and I can teleport anytime to my clone to be behind my opponent and mix them up. I could even delay that teleport to keep the fireball in front. Similarly in the corner, since you can get a teleport to clone of any normal, I could here hit the overhead into clone for extra mix. Ekko felt quite tricky to play, but he looks like the kind of technical character I love. The character that will mix their opponent to death. One of his level 1s is an install that keeps the clone behind him at all times, and that's definitely a big one I'm looking forward to lab. On the other characters, I got to play a lot against Sharin and Slash, playing Darius, Illari and more. Darius is an incredibly strong heavy hitter with a ridiculous reach and plenty of ways to enforce error. His bleed mechanic inflicts big chip damage on his opponents, so blocking him isn't the greatest idea either. Illari seemed like an interesting blend of heavy hitting and technical, with the tentacles used for many pressure and extension setups. In my next video actually, I sit down with Slash, one of the very best Guilty Gear Strive players in the world, to talk about our sets where he casually punched me up like he'd been playing the game for 150 years. And as a conclusion, I'm personally super convinced by the early looks of 2xKO. One of the things I was worried about was to have a fighting game designed mostly for League players and not for fighting game players like me, but I was extremely wrong. 2xKO looks like a fighting game. It's deep, it's technical, and it looks like it offers a system really allowing you to potentially express yourself. If anything, I wonder if the game wouldn't end up being too technical for newcomers. But this is easily solved by the game's greatest feature, the 2v2 modes. Being able to potentially teach your friend to play through teamwork can be insanely rewarding and completely remove the very frustrating bit of fighting games where you have to learn by yourself and hold the L by yourself. It can be an amazing way to get people into the game. For now anyway, 2xKO definitely piqued my interest. Meeting the devs and the overall team also made me realize that they are all very core FGC members. From the ones you know, like Apologima, Nyohosi, Pat the Flip, to some you may not know, but who were attending EVO most likely before you even started watching fighting games. A passionate team with a lot of great ideas is definitely something I can get behind for sure, even if it means I'll end up getting bullied in-game by Slash again. I'll have my revenge eventually. Thanks everyone for watching, and let me know what you think of the game so far. More 2xKO content on the way, so make sure to subscribe and hit that bell.